Look, we need to talk, because even our favorite K-drama stars, the ones we'd defend with our lives in the comments section, sometimes pick projects that make us go, wait, what were you thinking? In this countdown, we're looking at 12 famous actors and the roles that didn't quite work out, at least in the eyes of fans and critics. We'll dive into each role, explain why it's considered a flop or cringeworthy, and sprinkle in some fan and critic reactions. Ready? Let's jump straight in. 12. Kim Soo Hyun in Real.
이 젖꼭지는 어떤 미친년이 물어뜯어서 꿰맸고.
Okay, starting strong with one that genuinely hurts. Kim Soo Hyun is basically K-drama royalty, right? My love from the star, it's okay to not be okay, the man can do no wrong. Except he did. Real, this 2017 movie about underground poker and gambling, was so bad that even Koreaboo, who usually keeps things diplomatic, flat out said it got horrible reviews. One reviewer actually called it the worst work he has ever starred in. I mean, wow, that's not shade, that's a full eclipse. The movie itself was a disaster. Confusing plot, choppy editing, and poor Soo Hyun looked genuinely lost the entire time. What really gets me, though, he knew it was bad. At the VIP screening, he teared up on stage and joked that the plot had hidden traps, and even this tear right now is all planned. That's him basically saying, yeah, I know, I'm sorry. Watching him try to laugh it off while clearly devastated, brutal. It's the kind of career stumble that makes you want to give the guy a hug and pretend it never happened. 11. Kim Young-Dae in No Gain, No Love. He been climbing the ladder. Business proposal, the penthouse, all solid work. So when No Gain, No Love came around, a rom-com where he plays the sweet, dependable lead, it should have been a slam dunk. Except it wasn't. The drama just existed. Fangirl Verdict straight up admitted they finished it against my better judgment and said, in short, I wasn't a fan. That's reviewer speak for I suffered through this. The big issue? They tried cramming what should have been a 24-episode story into 14 episodes, and it showed. Everything felt rushed and hollow. He did his best with what he had, but the script gave him absolutely nothing to work with. Unlike his villainous turn in Penthouse where he was electric, here he was just there, pleasant background noise. Fans didn't hate it, they just forgot about it the second it ended. And honestly, that might be worse than being bad. At least bad is memorable. This was just beige. 10. Shin Ye-Eun in The Glory.
그래서 말인데 동은아. 이제부터 네가 고데기 열 체크 좀 해줄래?
Here's where it gets tricky. She usually plays adorable, bubbly characters, more than Friends, that kind of vibe. Then Netflix's The Glory happened and she played young Yeonjin, the main bully. And she was terrifying, like genuinely made your skin crawl good. So good, in fact, that people started sending her hate messages. She admitted after the show aired that she lost followers because viewers couldn't separate her from the character. They despised her that much. So why is this on a worst roles list if she nailed it? Because the backlash was real, and some fans just weren't ready to see her go dark. All K-pop called it her most talked about role, noting she drew both hate and praise. The thing is, playing a villain this convincing comes with consequences. Suddenly, you're not the sweet girl next door anymore. You're the person who tortured someone with a curling iron. She proved she's got serious range, but man, what a jarring departure. It's a worst role in the sense that it fundamentally changed how people saw her, even if the performance itself was objectively strong. 9. Go Ara in Hwarang.
뭐 필요한 게 있으면 말하시오. 내가 도울 테니까.
Hwarang had everything going for it on paper. A cast full of gorgeous men, Park Seo-joon, BTS's V, a Joseon-era setting, some action, some romance, and then there was Go Ara as the lone female lead, playing a medical trainee. She should have been amazing. Instead, yikes. One viewer didn't hold back. Go-ara was pathetic. Smile, purse lips, furrow brow, cry, that's about it. Another fan said she was basically there to look pretty and sob, calling her performance underwhelming. I hate to pile on, but they're not wrong. Even if the writing didn't help her much, the role was pretty one-dimensional. Her acting felt limited. In a drama packed with charismatic male leads, she just couldn't keep up. It's like she was going through the motions. Hit your mark, look sad, repeat. Fangirl Verdict noted fans found her acting terrible or limited, and that's rough. The show had its moments, but her character wasn't one of them. It's become one of those roles people quietly point to when they're listing Go-ara's forgettable projects, which is a shame because she's capable of so much more. 8. Han So-Hee in the world of the married.
그런 것까지 얘기해요?
Okay, plot twist. This role actually launched Han So-Hee into the stratosphere. But hear me out. She's on this list because people absolutely loathed her character. She played Yoo Dak-young, the homewrecker who destroyed Kim Hee-ai's marriage, and viewers wanted to reach through their screens. All cops said her performance drew both hate and praise, making her one of the most talked about actresses that year. She was so convincing as the mistress that some people genuinely disliked her, not just the character. The wild part? She was actually praised for the acting and even got a Rookie Actress nomination. So this isn't about bad performance. It's about playing someone so detestable that the role itself becomes infamous. Yoo Dak-young meddled, manipulated, and made everyone's life miserable. Han So-Hee committed fully to it, which takes guts. But still, imagine being so good at playing awful that people can't look at you the same way. It's a double-edged sword. This worst role tag is tongue-in-cheek because the work was solid. It's just that the character was irredeemable, and sometimes that sticks to you. 7. Heo Sung-Tae in Squid Game.
누구냐? 아까부터
네 뒤통수 치냐?
이런 쌍년이.
Remember Jang Dok-soo, the gangster everyone loved to hate in Squid Game? That's Heo Sung-Tae, who apparently is the sweetest guy in real life, but on screen, he was a monster. Dok-soo was violent, slimy, and brutal. He stabbed people, threatened players, and was generally the worst human in the game. Fans celebrated when he finally got taken out, with one writing that his death was satisfying and that karma finally got to him. So this is another case where the acting was too good. He made his character so hateable that viewers cheered when he died. The character's whole vibe, bullying, backstabbing, zero redeeming qualities, made him possibly the most despised person in that bloodbath of a show. And sure, from an actor's perspective, creating such a memorable villain is actually a win. But in the context of worst roles, it's the kind of character people list because they enjoyed watching him fail. You don't want to be the guy everyone roots against, even if you're phenomenal at it. Fans still joke about his scenes, and not in a wow, amazing way, more like thank God he's gone. 6. Lee Yoo-mi in All of Us Are Dead.
뭘 봤는데?
네가 그런 거 맞잖아.
내가 안 그랬어. 내가 경수 그렇게 만든 거 아니라고.
Fresh off her breakout in Squid Game, she took on Lee Na-yeon in Netflix's zombie thriller All of Us Are Dead. And wow, did she commit to being terrible. Na-yeon is the mean girl who backstabs classmates, whines constantly, and does genuinely unforgivable things once the zombies show up. She grabs hormones off people, acts selfish when survival's on the line, and even shoots a gun at her own group. Viewers were furious. Lee Yoo-mi herself acknowledged in interviews that many people hate the character and worried fans wouldn't separate her from Na-yeon. This role was designed to make you mad, and it worked. Na-yeon wasn't just annoying, she was dangerous, the kind of person you'd vote off the island in a heartbeat. One article quoted Lee Yoo-mi saying, "I know many of you hate that character and hate me for that character," which is both sad and a testament to how well she played it. Fans wanted someone to kick her out of the room, and eventually, someone does. It's a worse role because it's so effectively awful. She nailed the assignment, but the assignment was to be the person everyone wanted gone. Mission accomplished, but at what cost? 5. Sung-Hoon in Noble My Love.
지금 개 한 마리가 촬영장 이탈해서 손해가 얼마나 막심한 줄 아십니까? 남일에 신경 끄고 그쪽 일이나 하시죠.
His whole brand is basically hot guy in a suit. And look, it works for him. In Noble My Love, he plays a CEO who falls for a veterinarian. Cute concept, except the execution was cringe city. Fangirl verdict didn't sugarcoat it. Sung-Hoon's delivery was stiff and wooden. The drama leaned hard into the cold, shabled jerk trope. He pins the girl awkwardly, yanks her around like a rag doll, and it came off as dated rather than romantic. Actually, scratch that, it was always a little weird, but now it feels really weird. The whole thing is loaded with every tired trope, kidnapping, forced proximity, brooding stares. Critics noted his acting lands on the stiff and wooden end of the scale, meaning even his admittedly great looks couldn't save it. Fans call it a guilty pleasure, but let's be honest, it's forgettable. The kind of drama you watch once while folding laundry and never think about again. He is charming in his own way, but this role didn't let him do much beyond stand there looking expensive. It's pulpy fluff at best, and definitely not something you'd put on a highlight reel. 4. Jung Hae In DP.
그렇게 때리지 말라고 하면 아닌 걸 아니라고 하면 그게 패급인 겁니까?
He is the king of soft romantic leads. Something in the Rain, One Spring Night, the man makes you feel things. So when he showed up in DP as a military cop hunting down AWOL soldiers, it was jarring. Not bad exactly, he gave it his all, but just off. The show's dark and intense, tackling heavy themes about military abuse and systemic violence. And while he pulled off the performance, fans missed his usual warmth. The vibe was totally different, and not everyone was here for it. I didn't find any brutal takedowns of his acting. People mostly just felt it wasn't him. DP got praise overall, but there's a subset of fans who quietly admit they didn't connect with him in this role the way they usually do. It's hard to put a finger on, you know? Like when your favorite comfort food place suddenly changes the menu. Nothing's technically wrong, but it's not what you came for. So he lands here not because he failed, but because the role itself felt like a mismatch for the Jung Hae In we all fell in love with. Sometimes, even great actors pick projects that just don't resonate, and that's okay. Cha Eun-woo in My ID is Gangnam Beauty.
나도 공개적으로 누굴 좋아한다고 해볼까? 강미리 좋아한다고.
He is ridiculously good looking, like almost distractingly so. And in My Idea's Gangnam Beauty, he played Do Kyung-suk, the handsome college student who's supposed to be kind and thoughtful. The show was sweet enough, and lots of people found him adorable. But here's the thing, his acting got roasted. Koreaboo reported that Korean media criticized him for dry dialogue delivery and facial expressions with a narrow range. Translation, pretty face, zero emotion. The character barely talks and shows even less feeling, so viewers were split. Some loved his calm, mysterious vibe, others found him boring as hell. The internet had a field day with the one expression jokes. To be fair, he's improved since then, but this early role cemented the no-range label. Fans watched for the plot and his visuals, but nobody walked away praising his acting chops. It's a worst role because expectations are higher when you're that good-looking. People want substance to match. He has proven he's capable of more, but Gangnam Beauty? That's the one people side-eye when they're listing his work. Lee Min-ho in When the Stars Gossip.
의사로 돌아갈 거고 MG 그룹이랑은 정리할 겁니다.
He has got hits for days, Boys Over Flowers, The King, Pachinko. So when Netflix announced When the Stars Gossip, a space-themed rom-com, everyone was hyped. Then it aired and confusion. He plays Gong Rong, an OBGYN on a space station. Yes, you read that right. The zero-gravity visuals look cool, but the romance felt flat. One review said the chemistry was average and that Ryong seemed emotionally distant even toward his co-lead Eve. Critics were all over the place. Some applauded the ambition, others thought it got too ridiculous. There's a subplot about a secret sperm mission in orbit, and I'm not making that up. His comedic timing was decent, but the whole setup felt like the show couldn't decide if it wanted to be sci-fi or romance, so it awkwardly straddled both. Fans joked it was interesting rather than good, which is the kiss of death. It didn't play to his strengths at all. Why did they do this to us? He's best when he's earnest and charismatic, not floating around making weird science babies. It's polarizing. Some dig the quirky vibe, but for most of us, it's just baffling. Definitely not his finest hour. Chang Wook in Welcome to Samdalri.
야, 웃지 마, 너.
알았어. 삼달아, 야, 너 아니 어제부터 이쁘지를 말든가, 어? 아니 귀엽지를 말든가.
He is usually a slam dunk. Healer? Suspicious partner? Man's a legend. But Welcome to Samdalri landed with a thud for a lot of people. He plays Chung Han-gu, a calm accountant reconnecting with his childhood crush. It's cozy, it's sweet, it should work. Except it kinda didn't. Fangirl Verdict noted the love scenes felt forced, and that early episodes were underwhelming enough that viewers almost bailed. To be clear, his acting got praise. One commenter specifically said his performance was really great. So this isn't on him. The problem was the pacing and the romance itself. The chemistry took forever to click, and some of the melodrama felt contrived. His character's a stand-up guy, but the slow burn storyline left people wanting. Fans who stuck around ended up liking it, but that initial drag, rough. It's enough to snag the top spot here because even Chang Wook couldn't fully elevate a script that just wasn't doing him any favors. When an actor this talented can't make a story sing, you know something's off. Which one made you cringe the hardest? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you're still in the mood for some K-drama tea, check out our last video on 8 Korean actors most difficult to work with, the truth behind the drama. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you in the next one.